Greetings, folks, coming to you today from Bodega Head in Bodega Bay, California, and it is a glorious day. Look at this view. Look at the colors in the hills. We are at November 20th, 2020. It's a gorgeous fall day, and I'm going to hike around this area. Come along with me. For those of you who have never been here, there's a big parking area. And of course, we are overlooking the Pacific Ocean, Bodega Bay. And here is the sign for the trailhead. And this is where we will begin. There's that iconic tree over there. It's kind of a landmark. And we'll head down this little sandy path. One of the first sights on this path is this tribute, a memorial to those who lost their lives at sea, and those who make a living from the sea. And it's just like a bunch of concrete blocks in the shape of a boat. It's very simple, but it has to endure the elements out here, so I'm sure that's what was in mind when they made it. Okay, let's move along. Here's a close-up of that tree. I guess the wind comes from that direction and blows it. Oh gosh, there's some birds in there, and one looks like a hawk. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to bring that in view. Try to get a better look at that bird. Interesting. This is the view to my right. Quite a little private beach down there if you can find a way to get down. Two people did. They have it all to themselves. Okay, I've got as good of a close-up as I'm going to get. And yeah, that's definitely a hawk. Cool. He's a big bird. Love to see a little more of him. He's just taking it all in. I think it's good luck when you see a hawk, so I'm crossing my fingers that holds for the day. Well, gray whales do this trip. I think it's like a 10,000 or 14,000 mile trip from the Arctic Ocean along these waters, and at some point in the year, and I forget which month, people will come out here and hope to see the migration of the gray whales. Okay, just walking up the trail here. Oh wow, there's a dramatic view. Beautiful. Okay, a little further down this trail, I think we're coming into where the bay is rather than the ocean. The water is calmer, and there's an island out there where I can hear the sea lions yelping. Let's see if I can get a little. Okay, I don't know if you can hear that. They are making some noise out there. I wonder how many of them are on that rock. Okay, one more look from this vantage point, and we got a good look at the bay and our first look at Doran Beach way over there and the community behind it. Let's move on. Here's a great view. Those are the two jetties, the rock wall jetties that go out into the bay, and behind that is Doran Beach, and behind Doran Beach is Bodega Harbor. Okay, onward. Okay, I'm going to take this little side trail and get a good look at this view. Oh yeah, this has to be one of my favorite views. Again, we're looking at the jetties going into Bodega Bay. That's Doran Beach. And all those cars you see right in front of you are in the jetty day use area of Doran Beach. And over this way is the harbor. Now it looks like it's high tide. But oh my goodness, what a great view on a gorgeous day. And a little further down the trail, crossing this neat little wooden bridge. And up yonder is a parking lot, and they do have a restroom up there, just letting you know. Okay, and now we're on the other side of the harbor. This is where the Coast Guard come in and out. They have a headquarters here, and they patrol the waters. Just below us is Campbell Cove. I'm going to see if I can get a little closer and tell you about that. Okay, here we are. And we're looking down at Campbell Cove at the little body of water there. Let me enlarge that. Which is called Hole in the Head. They call it Hole in the Head because it was a hole in the 1950s dug by PG&E to make the first nuclear power plant here in Bodega Bay. First nuclear power plant in the country. It was not a successful endeavor because the locals protested it and they won. So the deep, deep hole that had been dug, I guess where the nuclear reactor would have gone, that filled up with water over time. And believe it or not, we are on the San Andreas Fault here. So having a nuclear power plant would have been very risky. Very glad the locals won that fight. There's another good shot of it. So I actually did a separate video on Campbell Cove, and I'll link it up here in the corner. Okay, I'm on the return trip now. Not quite as scenic at the moment. I'll get back on the trail over here after that detour. And going back from this point the way we came. So you'll recognize that tree. We got the bay over here and then the ocean to the right. And I'll stop a couple more times. And there he goes. That was the hawk. He just left the tree as I approached. There he goes. Back to the tree. Oh my goodness. That must be his perch. Wow, I feel very lucky to have seen this hawk on the beginning of the hike and at the end. That is so cool. This must be his hunting grounds. Okay, one more time, Mr. Hawk. I hope you can see him. He's right there. And he's got his eye on the ground, looking for something that's moving, I suppose. Very cool. Okay, I just have to show you this. This is a view of that same iconic cypress tree from the other side. It's interesting, I've just never walked around here to check it out. Look how the limbs on this side go way down to the ground, and one of them is really gnarly. Very interesting. This is the tree that the hawk was in, and there's a poem attached here, and I will read it. An old and weary cypress tree, survivor of the storms, its limbs entwined with winds, embraced to create its twisted forms. It has a long and lonely watch from high where it abides, and is a silent witness to the ins and outs of tides. On Bodega Head it stands, roots firmly planted, enduring mighty winds by standing slightly slanted. A friendly greeter, this ancient cypress tree, a welcome sight to mariners when coming home from sea. That is so cool. Now, if I could see that hawk one more time. Okay, I had to walk around to the other side, but my wish is granted. Goodbye, Mr. Hawk. You've really been a highlight of my day. And now to finish up the walk. And we're back. And the wind is just now starting to pick up. So I'm going to say that's all for now. Thank you for coming along with me and sharing the excitement of seeing the hawk and taking the journey on the Bodega Head Trail. See you in the next video. Bye for now.